Yes, yes.
All right. Well, clearly you have a lot of testimony here this evening. You know the pros and cons as they've been expressed relative to the issues. I would think that the city attorney's office would now have the opportunity to work with other staff members, the police chief and others, relative to researching this. Instead of bringing an ordinance back, they could bring back their research, and then possibly as a first step, a second step would then be to direct them to proceed with whatever option they think was appropriate. Or you could ask them to come back directly with an ordinance. So I think you have several options here. One would be a several step process, one would be more immediate.
Councilor Manwaring, and then I think Councilor Jones.
I guess, thank you, City Manager. I like the two-step process.
Well, I'll weigh in my 2 cents because I guess I should. And I'm sure there'll be enough. We heard a lot of things tonight that had to do with the issue of chalking and or graffiti, but also I heard a lot of things tonight that concern me about opinions and groups and factions in town behaving in ways that personally I don't think are appropriate. People are getting hurt physically, seriously. People are being offended and insulted in many ways by language and behavior. We've heard reports of people being followed. We've heard some descriptions of what has been chalked in the square, certainly not my taste, but there's also the issue of, well, we are entitled to free expression and we do have First Amendment rights. The other concern is about the economic detriments to the city because of this behavior. I think that's a separate issue. I don't want staff coming back with research on that because whatever concerns our community have economically have to do with factors that are well beyond our borders, unfortunately. I think that the presence of certain individuals doing certain things in Central Square is not a deal breaker if somebody is coming here to maybe start a business. If that's all they see, sure, but there's a lot more to Keene than Central Square, and there is a lot about Keene that is Central Square. I also know that the city has a history of dealing with quote-unquote unruly behavior and I've mentioned this many meetings, I'll mention it again because I like mentioning it. I think it was in 1839 or 1838 because there were rowdy adolescents with nothing better to do hanging around downtown where the corner news is now, Gilboa Ave, and being drunk, being publicly drunk. And a number of citizens were not okay with that. It was offensive to their families. They were uncomfortable because they did not live a life based on values that they saw were negative, and they probably were in these youth. But as a result, they banned alcohol. That ban lasted a year because it didn't make a bit of difference as to what they were concerned about. And I think what I'm getting at, because I don't want to waste any more time, is there are deeper issues here that have to do with the community and how we get along with each other, whether we like each other or not. What troubles me as a citizen of this city, as a member of the city council, but also somebody who watches the news, not much, because it's all the same, is that there's just too much polarity, too many factions who want to have their point of view only expressed and tolerated and not others. That's what's going to destroy any society or any community. And I hope as we go forward, whatever this committee decides, whatever this council decides, we weigh in on preserving a balance and not creating an issue that will only cause more heartache, more problems, more involvement with our city legal resources in dealing with something that really has to do, I think, ultimately with personal responsibility. So with my grandstanding done, as part of the perks of being chair. I'm ready to hear what's next from any committee members, if you want to make a motion or want to talk more. Do you want to make it?
Certainly. Okay, I would move that the Municipal Service Facility Infrastructure Committee direct staff to research the possibility of an enforceable graffiti ordinance and report back to this committee.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion among committee members and also Councilor Jones?
I specifically did not mention draft an ordinance, okay? I said report back. We want to hear options.
Yeah, we heard the motion. Awesome. We're stuck at, right? Yes, it's not an ordinance, we're just... Any members of the public want to make a comment on the proposed ordinance? If you do, I just ask that it be brief. I think we've covered most of the ground we're covering. And the ordinance is whether or not to ask staff to do more research on this topic.
Yeah.
Sir, please state your name and...
Daryl Masterson, Willow Street. If you're going to proceed with doing a little bit of research, he's going to hate me for saying this, but I recommend speaking with Rhett Lamb in regards to enforceability of such an ordinance. I know he's had issues with some of the code enforcement that Keene currently has.
The planning director, you mean Rhett Lamb, or Med Kopczynski, who's the...
Rhett Lamb is the one that has mentioned to me
Okay.
that there's been issues trying to, going through the court process, trying to enforce like parking on the lawn and things like that. So, yeah, I'll throw his name under the bus and just say.
Well, thank you. I know he appreciates it sincerely, and I'm sure he would be part of any discussion on the staff.
Just wanted to throw that one out
I'd be
there.
surprised if he wasn't, but thank you for bringing that up. Any other comments?
I just have a quick one.
Sure.
I'm wondering if someone can research who will be paying to repair the Civil War monument. It does have a permanent peace sign from a year ago, which I'm aware Andy Bohannon had addressed at that time. And I would like to know if that is going to be repaired by the city, or will it be repaired by, a local veterans group? Does the Cheshire Historical Society get involved? So I would like to know how it's going to be repaired. Thank you.
We will try to get back to you. That isn't about the motion, but I think that question could be answered. We have your name. I don't know if there's any city staff that can comment directly. Mr. Bohannon isn't here, but we will try to get back to you. I would suggest calling the city clerk's office in a week. I think we'd have an answer by then. Motion has been made and seconded. Current discussion. Ready for a vote? All those in favor? It's unanimous, none opposed. I want to thank everybody again. This was painful but probably necessary gathering this evening. In some respects, it's also very positive as well. We have no other items on the agenda this evening. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Cheers for DPRK. We're like real DPRK. At the end, we have to get up and all applaud enthusiastically and cheer.
You're a liar. You're a I just hit that by watching one of the first jobs. And then I was over with his job there, and he